Stare at this for a second. Blank grid, no notes, nothing running. Every automation you'll ever build in 18 starts exactly here. And by the end of this video, you'll move around the screen without even thinking about it. Hey, I'm Kai, and this is Fun with Learning Technology, the channel where we actually understand the tools we use, not just click where a tutorial points. Today's question is simple. When you open n8n for the first time, where does everything actually live? By the end, you'll know the canvas, the node panel, node settings, the execution log, and saving versus activating well enough to navigate on your own. Think of the canvas like a workbench, not a document. You're not typing top to bottom, you're placing steps left to right, and the lines between them are the path your data actually travels. A trigger starts it, then each node downstream does one job. So how do you add that next step? You click the plus button, or here's the trick. You just hit tab on your keyboard. Either way, a searchable panel pops open, so you're never scrolling through a giant menu looking for one node. That search panel isn't a random list, it's grouped by what a node actually does. Triggers are the when, a webhook, a schedule. Actions are the what's, send an email, update a row. And code nodes are your logic, things like if and merge. In short, if you know which job you need, you know which shelf to look on. You might expect to drag a wire yourself after placing a node. You don't have to. Select or drop the node near the last one, and n8n auto connects it to whatever came before. One less thing to fumble with while you're still learning where things are. Every node hides its real configuration behind a double click. Parameters tell it what to do, credentials tell it what it's allowed to touch, and options let you fine-tune edge cases. I'll admit, early on I kept skipping the credentials tab and wondering why my node just sat there failing silently. Here's the trick that saves the most time. You don't have to run your entire workflow just to check one node. Hit execute node and it runs in isolation, showing you the real output right there. See that success status and 3 items back? That's proof the step works before you build anything on top of it. Clean. Once things get wired together, the execution log is where you actually debug. Every node shows green for pass or red for fail, and you can click into any of them to see the exact data that passed through. Honestly, this is the most underrated part of the whole editor. Most tutorials rush past it, but it's the fastest way to find where a workflow actually broke. This one bit me once. I saved a workflow, walked away, and assumed it was running. It wasn't. Saving just stores your draft. Activating is the separate step that tells triggers to start actually listening. 2 different buttons, 2 very different outcomes, so it's worth checking which one you actually clicked. So here's the whole map again. You build steps on the canvas, configure each one in its settings, test it through the execution log, then save your draft and activate when you're confident. That loop is really the entire editor. That edge case broke me. Don't let this be the one you skip. Like it, subscribe. If something feels off or missing, or you want to see something new, tell me in the comments.